Breaking news! Things just got a whole lot spicier in the AFC North, and Ravens fans, you're going to want to pay close attention to this one. A blockbuster trade has just shaken the balance of power in the division, and it involves a name Ravens fans know all too well. But before we move on, make sure you hit that like button if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team. And if you feel like it, comment, "Go Ravens," to show you're riding with the flock. Alright, let's dive into it. The Pittsburgh Steelers just pulled off a move that stunned the NFL landscape, trading for three-time All-Pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey from the Miami Dolphins. Yes, that Jalen Ramsey. The man known for his lockdown coverage and his no-filter trash talk is now a member of the Ravens' most bitter rival. And here's the kicker, this trade didn't just involve picks or a cap dump. The Steelers sent none other than Minkah Fitzpatrick back to Miami in return. That's right, one of the most critical pieces of their defensive puzzle is gone, and they're gambling big on a veteran corner whose best days may be behind him. Now before we even break this down further, let's zoom out and look at the big picture. Why did this trade happen in the first place? It's simple, Baltimore. The Ravens have been dominating headlines all offseason, and it's not just because of Lamar Jackson's MVP caliber play or Derrick Henry joining the backfield. It's about what the Ravens have built. A top-tier secondary just got even better with the addition of Jaire Alexander, and Pittsburgh couldn't stand by while the Ravens widened the talent gap. This was a reactionary move, no question. The Steelers are trying to close the distance, desperately. But let's talk about what this really means. On paper, yes, Ramsey is a big name. He has 34 pass breakups and 8 interceptions in his final 2 seasons with the Rams. That kind of production doesn't go unnoticed. But his recent numbers? Not nearly as impressive. He only played 10 games in 2023, and while he appeared in all 17 last season, the results weren't elite. A quarterback rating of nearly 90 when targeted? That's not shutdown corner territory anymore. His PFF grade was just 65.6 in 2023. Even last year's 76.9 wasn't enough to recapture his dominant form from his Jacksonville and early Rams days. And then there's the money. Pittsburgh now owes Jalen Ramsey $21.1 million this year. With no more guaranteed money after this season, and a load of dead cap tied to 2026 unless they restructure, this could very well be a one-and-done experiment. So they traded away a versatile, elite safety in Fitzpatrick, arguably still better than Ramsey, for a possible rental. That's a bold move. This could absolutely backfire, because let's not forget what Minkah Fitzpatrick meant to Pittsburgh. He wasn't just a safety. He was a leader, a ball hawk, a quarterback of the defense. He was the one who gave Lamar Jackson fits. His absence could open up the field in ways we haven't seen in years. Lamar threw for over 4,000 yards, 41 touchdowns, and just 4 interceptions last season. With Minkah gone and Ramsey filling a different role, there might be even more opportunities for Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, and the emerging Devontae Walker to torch this secondary. And then there's the psychological edge. The Steelers know they're behind. This trade reeks of desperation, and it shows how much respect, or fear, they have for what Baltimore's cooking. Not to mention they also added tight end Jonnu Smith in this deal. Yes, they needed a more dynamic receiving threat next to Pat Freiermuth, and Smith offers that, but how much will it really move the needle when you're still playing catch-up to a Ravens offense that's stacked from top to bottom? Just think about what Baltimore's offense looks like heading into 2025. Lamar Jackson, MVP frontrunner. Derrick Henry, a bulldozing force. Zay Flowers, coming off a 1,000-yard rookie campaign. Rashad Bateman, healthy and motivated. Justice Hill catching out of the backfield. And let's not forget Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely at tight end. There are just too many weapons. Pittsburgh could add 2 more Ramseys and still struggle to contain this unit. But the Steelers aren't banking solely on defense. They're all in on winning now. They're trying to stack enough talent around Aaron Rodgers, yes, Rodgers, to make a legitimate run. The question is, can Rodgers even hold up? They're betting he can, because if he can't, no amount of additions are going to help them compete in the most brutal division in football. Let's keep this going. This trade might have rattled some cages, but it also handed Baltimore an unexpected advantage that could prove massive down the stretch. Because while Jalen Ramsey adds some name value to Pittsburgh's secondary, the loss of Minkah Fitzpatrick alters the very foundation of their defense. And if you know anything about AFC North football, you know that the small details, the difference between one elite safety and one declining corner, can decide a season. Let's focus in on the schematic implications here. The Steelers under Mike Tomlin have long relied on their ability to disguise coverages, rotate safeties, and play aggressively with a ball-hawking back end. Minkah was the engine of that strategy. He didn't just make plays, he allowed other defenders to take risks, knowing he was behind them to clean up the mess. Without him, there's a huge question mark. Who becomes the communicator? Who takes over that leadership role in the secondary? Sure, they've still got Darius Slay and Joey Porter Jr., and yes, Ramsey brings experience, but none of them replicate what Minka brought. Ramsey has never been asked to be that kind of deep field general. He's a press corner. He talks a big game and can still clamp down in short space, but he's not ranging sideline to sideline, reading the quarterback's eyes and covering up blown coverages. That's what Minka did, and now he's doing it in Miami again. And don't underestimate the chemistry loss. The Steelers had a core defensive identity. That identity is now fractured. Lamar Jackson has already shown he can surgically dissect even top-tier defenses. Now he gets to go up against a Steelers unit that's shuffling its roles mid-off-season? That's a mismatch. Meanwhile, Baltimore isn't just standing pat. This offseason, they built on their strengths. Jair Alexander joins a secondary that already features Kyle Hamilton, who, let's be real, is evolving into one of the most terrifying defenders in the league. Brandon Stevens and Marlon Humphrey provide flexibility. Geno Stone continues to be a valuable piece. There's depth, intelligence, and athleticism at every level. So while the Steelers are making loud moves that grab headlines, the Ravens are refining, upgrading, strengthening. The difference is subtle, but it's everything. And what's truly wild, all this is happening before we've even gotten to training camp. Now let's not forget about the wide receiver situation either. Because if you're Pittsburgh, you're making all these defensive upgrades to counter one specific thing, the Baltimore passing attack. Zay Flowers is a rising star. Bateman has the potential to finally break out. Devontae Walker, Tylan Wallace, Leonte Western, these are names we're going to be hearing more about. There's real momentum coming out of OTAs and minicamp that this group is clicking. And then you throw in Likely and Andrews? That's a nightmare matchup. Ramsey or no Ramsey. It's almost poetic. Just when you think the AFC North rivalry has hit its peak, something like this happens to turn up the heat. But here's where things get even more interesting. Jalen Ramsey is now going to face Lamar Jackson twice a year. Two of the most competitive, fiery players in the NFL. Two elite talents. And Ramsey's going to be in the middle of all that trash talk, all that intensity. Ravens fans, can you imagine the build-up to those matchups? The pregame pressers? The sideline confrontations? It's going to be absolutely electric. But here's the thing, it might not even matter. Because Lamar is locked in. He's more protected, more equipped, more confident than ever. He knows the expectations. He knows the pressure. And he's embracing all of it. And if you're still on the fence about whether this trade was a net win for Pittsburgh, just consider this. They gave up a foundational piece for a corner they might only have for one season. Unless they restructure, Ramsey's cap hit is a monster. Over $21 million. No guaranteed money left. No future flexibility unless they make more cap sacrifices. That's not sustainable. That's a gamble. Meanwhile, Baltimore keeps building for now and later. This is why the Ravens consistently find themselves in playoff contention. It's why Lamar Jackson is a two-time MVP. It's why this offense is one of the most feared in the league. And it's why this trade, despite the headlines, might end up benefiting Baltimore more than anyone else. But I want to hear from you now. Was this a panic move by Pittsburgh? Or do you think Jalen Ramsey still has enough juice to swing the AFC North battle? Let me know your take in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and check out the videos on the screen right now for more exclusive Ravens content. We've got a big season ahead. Make sure you're here for every second of it.